Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Powerful Man Show. I am your host, Doug Holt, with my co-host, Tim, the Powerful Man Matthews. What's going down, brother?
Very well. A lot going on, which is great. A lot of guys being interviewed for the program, which is fun. Some guys are making it, some guys aren't. Just the way it goes. But yeah, it's fun.
It's a beautiful day here, man. I'm looking up at this window. I got this beautiful blue sky with this cloud coming by over the trees right above here at my desk, which is absolutely awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting out there. I'm going to do about a 2 to 3 hour ruck today. Spend some quality time. A ruck. So what we call rucking in exercise is you'll wear a weighted backpack or a weight vest. Usually it's a backpack. It's a military style thing. So a lot of guys do it, and they do rucking in the UK too for fitness. So they'll go on rucks, right? So it might be hours or miles. You might do a 4 mile, a 10 mile. Obviously, not
Nice.
It's a backpack. Imagine a weighted backpack. You grab a backpack and you fill it with weights or a weight vest. They call it rucking.
How heavy is it?
What?
How heavy?
Well, it could be whatever weight you want to use. Right. Mine's about 36 pounds that I use, and I'll take stuff in and, throw water in there, what have you. So, but some guys use weight vests. One of the guys that I actually, there's a guy that we've decided to do socially is we go rucking, and they'll have a beer afterwards, which is really hiking with a weighted backpack is really what it is. But instead of just going to get beers or do that, we always make sure we do something that's fitness related, gives us a time to, chill out together and do something. But you're also getting a little workout in. It's a great way to burn body fat, to strengthen your body. Again, you're just having weight with you the whole time.
You know, it's a great way to burn body fat.
What?
Begins with S.
What? Begins with S?
Begins with S.
Saunas.
Yeah, I thought you might say sex, but yeah.
I know what you're going to say. So looking forward to doing that in a little bit, but that's not what we came on. Tim, before we got on, hit the record button, you had mentioned a call that you were just on. Why don't you break that down for everybody?
Yeah, so speaking to a guy who is really struggling in his marriage. Great guy, really softly spoken, which whenever I hear the guys that are really softly spoken, I always immediately think, okay, I wonder what the leadership is like within the relationship. Nothing against the guy. It's just, you see patterns, right?
Sure.
And he, on his application, has said that he is losing the respect and the connection of his wife and his kids. And what he has done to try and solve this is spend more time with his wife. He has started to make it more of a priority for them to go on dates. But what he's finding is his wife is complaining more. And he's confused. I don't get it. I'm making more time for her. Usually it's been all about work. Now I'm prioritizing her. And then, when she complains about things I do, I explain why I'm doing them. So he doesn't realize at this point he's falling into the trap of being the deer. And anyway, him spending more time with his wife is actually making the marriage worse.
I bet.
Yeah, because his problem isn't the fact that they've not been spending time together. His problem is the fact that he has given up, the respect for himself, first and foremost. And as a result of that, by default, his wife and his kids, to a degree too, are also not respecting him. So then he shows up to take his wife out on this date, being defensive, being a little bit needy, and his wife now doesn't want to spend time with him. So I want to talk about what to do, Doug, when your wife doesn't want to spend time with you, right? How do you get her to want to spend time with you again? I think on the previous 2 podcasts ago, quality versus quantity. I think there's some things on there that apply to this to a degree. But we did say on that podcast about, not having certain conversations with your wife when she's just not in that place, right? And this guy's wife just isn't in that place. She isn't in the place to have a conversation around sexy tanks or, wanting to spend hours on a date with him, because when he shows up to the date, like I said, it's a little bit, no disrespect, but flaccid. It's kind of deactivated. So yeah, what do you think about this?
Yeah, well, first of all, I mean, deactivated is the word I would use for sure. There is no surprise that if his wife doesn't respect him, isn't admiring him, and then he spends more time with her as a solution, it's only going to exaggerate the issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to get what he wants out of that. Now, hearing that his kids don't respect him either, or he's lost the respect of his children, that further tells us, that he's in what we call deactivated mode, which most men are, right? I would hasten to say 80-90% of men in the world are in this deactivated mode, all right, that they're kind of going through life on autopilot, right? They've
Mm-hmm.
lost that mojo, so to speak, and their real drive. And so, yeah, so you find yourself in this situation. The first thing to do is get really clear, right? And first you got to do is, it's kind of like, AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. The number one thing is, admit that you're an alcoholic. That's the first thing. Otherwise, they can't help you, right? You can't just go,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm kind of an alcoholic this time, or maybe I just drink too much. No, the only way you get through that program, the first thing you do is have to admit where you are. The same thing was with any area of your life, guys, right? Fitness, whatever. So first thing to do is for him to admit that he's lost the respect, which obviously if he told you that, he knows that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets to work on reclaiming himself. Most of us guys start to work to please the woman, please our wife, to please the relationship. So then at that point, she'll love me. She'll respect me. She'll see how great of a man I am. She'll see how great of a provider I am. I'm bringing home this much money. Look at me, mom, right? It's one of these things where it's almost like we're looking for admiration from a mother. Gee whiz, mom, look how great I am. I did the dishes today. Go check it out. It's almost like we need that approval. And guys, you don't. The secret weapon here, the secret sauce, is taking care of yourself. When you take care of yourself first, you're more enjoyable to hang out with. All right? You become a joy. You become a pleasure. You become the prize. And that's some of the segments we teach the guys as they're going through the activation method. But really, when they get into the brotherhood, they really start to get it, right? It's at that point that you become the prize. Like she's begging to spend more time with you. That's what you want to get back to. Because when I'm guessing there's a time in your relationship, this guy's listening, when you're getting married, what have you, she was dying to hang out with you. Like she wanted to spend all kinds of time with you. Right? You were the prize. And he's lost that element.
He said, yeah, we had it at one time. So I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of where you get to start, except where you are. And for him, I think it's important because he was also trying to solve the wrong problem. He thought the problem was priorities. Oh, I've lost respect because I've not been prioritizing her. Maybe to a degree, but prioritizing her and doing it in the wrong way, it's not, the priorities is not the problem here. I think you raise a great point. I think obviously we've spoken a lot before about taking care of yourself, inside out living, all those great things. I think something that we've not spoken about as much that I think is equally as effective is the idea of becoming trustworthy again, right? Because in the process of him not prioritizing her, I didn't ask him this, but I'm guessing there will have been promises that were broken. He will have broken promises to himself, hence why he's no longer working out. And he's started to take on all the needs of all his staff. And he's started to people please and take on everybody's stresses, everybody's burdens. And then, his wife's kind of looking at him like, why are you doing that? That's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, I need to do this. I've got to be that hero, that savior. So point being is where I'm going with this is he's been breaking promises to himself, to his wife. And I think one of the ways as well to get her to want to spend time with him again is for him to start taking control and doing little things that he just sees need doing. Maybe it's little things around the house. Maybe it's little things with the kids. Maybe it's little things in the relationship. And just start doing them. Not saying, hey, does this need doing? Or, hey, what do you think? Should we do this? Just do it. And then don't say, hey, I did that thing. Just leave it. Let it be discovered on its own. Chances are she won't even bring it up. But chances are I'll also hit her when she discovers it. Oh, okay, that's nice. She'll be a little bit shocked and surprised.
Well, and the key here to me, Tim, is do it for yourself. Don't do it for her.
Yeah.
If there's something that, they're your kids too, pick up their shit, help them out, or teach your kids to pick up their stuff, lead, and do it for you. Don't do it like, I'm going to do the dishes. So I think that premise is what gets a lot of guys trapped. I'm going to do the dishes. She'll notice. Then I'll be a good boy. Wow. Mommy will be happy. That doesn't work. Do the dishes because the friggin' dishes need to be done. Because you're a man. Make the bed because the bed needs to be made. And you're a man. Right? Pick up the crap around the house because that's what adults do, guys. Right? Like, get a maid. Right? If you need someone else to pick your stuff out, it's a transaction. Pay the person. Right? No big deal. But do it for yourself. And that's the difference. And then start doing things for yourself. Right? Lace up your shoes and go for a run. Can't run? Go for a walk or a ruck, like we were talking about. Right? Do something for yourself. Don't ask for permission per se. I mean, your relationship might be different, the dynamic, but start doing things for yourself. And that's also going to create a mystery because most of you guys, you haven't done anything like this in such a long time. It's ridiculous. Your wife can predict everything you're going to do, right? Even if you think you're being spontaneous, she already knows, well, he's going to tell this joke. He's going to do this. It's become the same TV show she's seen 1,000 times. It was really interesting the first 20 times. But after a while, she knows what all the characters are going to do. She knows the plot. She knows the drama. It's not drama. It's not exciting. It's not sexy. So shake it up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a big part of this as well is you've got to do it for yourself. But more importantly, in doing so as well, promise less and do more, right? It kind of feeds into this. Do it for yourself, 100%, and start to become a man of your word. And I don't mean you start to promise and say things you're going to do. There's kind of unwritten agreements as well that you'll just do as a man, and that there'll be certain things that will go on. And just start to maintain those agreements with yourself first and foremost, right? And as you continue to strengthen that muscle, and inevitably, yes, you do it for yourself, and she's going to see it. You're not doing it so she sees it. But you're going to start to become more trustworthy. Now, she's not going to want to just spend time with you because you've become trustworthy, but it's going to help. It's definitely going to help because then she knows that you're not doing these things to manipulate her.
Yep.
You're not doing these things to manipulate a response out of her. So, back to this guy. I think the first thing, accept where you are, like you said. Second thing is understand the real problem. The problem isn't priorities. The problem is the fact that she's lost respect for him because he's lost respect for himself. He's then spent time with her but being needy in that time, which pushes her further away. The other interesting thing here that he said was, I just don't get it. She's constantly picking fights with me as well. And I explained that I've not done it because of this or that. She's picking fights with him because she wants to see that fire inside of him. Well, this is one of the reasons anyway. She wants to feel that fire from him again. She wants to feel him come out and arrive and almost just have some presence that she can be, he's there. The man, he is actually there, because often the guys have withdrawn so much from themselves, from their lives. They've just kind of become ghosts. That she's trying her best to see what she can get a response, and some guys think it's good when that stops. Oh, we're not arguing anymore. No, that's a warning sign. If you're not arguing anymore, chances are she's checking out or has checked out.
It's checked out for sure. And she's already checked out somebody else,
Mhm.
is what most likely has happened here.
Which reminds me of a guy I spoke with yesterday. He said, Tim, yeah, I'm worried because now she doesn't want to be with me. And now I'm starting to do all the things that she asked me to do before. She doesn't trust it. She's working out more. She's spending more time at work. I said, have you listened to our podcast on SMV? So what do you mean? It's sexual market value. Like, no, what's that? Well, just imagine that you're a stock price and the marketplace is the dating scene. You're going to go into the dating scene and you want to make your stock price as high as possible so you can attract the best possible mate. How do you do that? You work out, you look good, you make sure your house is all presentable so it's good for somebody to walk into. You get your career on point. She's doing those things right now. So she's got one foot out the door right now. And he was shocked when he heard that. What's that?
A foot and a big toe,
Yeah. He's like, how do I get her back? And again, just a different guy yesterday. It's amazing how these calls are weaving together. He said something that I think crosses a lot of men's minds. I know we're kind of going off topic a little bit, but we'll bring it back. He said, you know what, Tim? I'm terrified of the wrong guy coming along at the right time.
Yeah, or the right guy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Any guy. Guys, it's just so primed for this situation, for this guy. The fact that he's, what we want as men is respect and admiration, right? And that's the whole point of the activation method, the programming, right? We have the clean slate method, right? The triadic connection. All of these things help bring that back. And that's the idea, but you got to reclaim it within yourself too.
For sure.
And I feel for this guy because it's so easy for you and I to see, Tim, where this is going, right? Because we've seen it hundreds of times, right? Hundreds of times. And I realize for this guy, it's his first time seeing it, which is very different. And we've just seen this pattern over and over again. And becoming deactivated is something that is so common in today's society that we as men just don't see it coming. We don't realize that we've become deactivated. And that's why you need the activation method. I mean, that's why we developed it. But even just doing something, right? Start with taking care of yourself, right? Spicing it up, doing something different. It's not about spending more time with her. Yes, quality time is great. But quality time is great when she has love, admiration, respect for you, right? That those ingredients are still in the relationship. When they've gone out the door, that's when things get really rough.
I mean, look at yourself, guys. This is one way that I used to look at this, and it really woke me up. I was wanting Amelia to spend more time with me, right? And I took a look at myself and I thought, hang on a minute, would I want to spend more time with me right now? Am I present? Am I there but not really there? If I'm there, am I not really, being the CFO? Am I looking like crap? What am I like? So the point I'm making is for her to want to spend time with you, you've got to want to spend time with yourself first.
Yeah.
For her to respect you, you've got to respect yourself first. For her to want to admire you, you've got to admire yourself first. And this all goes hand in hand with how you are living. If you're working out, that's a real sign that, hey, I value my health. I value myself. I'm important to me. I'm going to look good. Looking good and feeling good is important to me. My mood is important to me. I matter to me. That's sexy. A woman wants to be with a guy like that. Ooh, this guy, wow, he knows where he's going. He's decisive. He's got direction. Wow, yeah, I can get behind that guy. That guy is steady. He's not going to get knocked over when the wind blows.
Exactly. I mean, and this is Guys, the time, if you find yourself in this situation, guys, the time to take action is yesterday, right? It's immediate, right? It's immediate. And again, we speak from experience of seeing this happen time and time again with great guys and great guys. And it's not your fault, right? It's not your fault you didn't see this coming. It's just, it's not talked about. That's why we started this podcast, right? Is to get that information to help guys out. It's just not talked about. I found myself in that situation, almost 10 years ago. And it was like, shit, there's nothing out there to help. Right? There's the beat your chest. Oh, I'm going to go down and punch people. There's that kind of stuff. But at the time, there wasn't anything that really talked about how to become a modern day man and be activated and really look at this in a different way. It was really kind of the men are from Mars, women are from Venus stuff. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for any of my friends or any of the guys I actually confided in and talked to. And so, guys, this is time to take action. You don't want to be the guy. I can tell you, as a guy who in my 20s owned a gym, I saw these women with their 1 foot out the door coming in all the time. And I also saw that other guy, he's in there too. He's in there too, just sweeping up, right? Because he got activated and maybe his moral compass might be different, but to him, it's just it's soon to be single women coming in. And it was like, and it's unfortunate. And that was the advantage that guys that were activated had. They could see, it's like being unplugged from the matrix. They could see the playing field, and the rest of us were walking around like drones and see it time and time again. So anyway, I don't need to belabor that point at all. That's not the point of this. The point is just waking up and getting recognition, and then take massive action, as we always say.
Imagine if you were always investing in your SMV. It's crazy, right? You get into a relationship, foot off the gas. Imagine if it wasn't that way.
Yeah. And guys, I'll leave you with one point, and I know we got to jump off, Tim, but what if everything you did was a vote for the future you? Every action, whether you listen to this podcast and don't take action, that's a vote for the future you. But if you listen to this podcast and take action, that action you take is a vote for the future you. Everything you do is a vote, right? And what would the future you want you to do? That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
All right, gentlemen, that's another wrap for us. Another show in the books. Tim, as always, that was great. Thanks so much. Gentlemen, what I'd like you to do is run over to our Facebook group, right? Search for The Powerful Man if you haven't been in there yet. It is for business owners. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about this episode. I want to know where your votes are headed, right? Where are your votes? And if I looked at the past, what were you voting for? What was the future you were voting for? If every action's a vote, what were you voting for your future? I'd love to know about that in the Facebook group. All right, gentlemen, have an amazing, amazing week. And we'll see you next time on The Powerful Man Show.